One of the things that irritates me, do leg extensions before squats. I don't have a dressing gown. Welcome back to another vlog, and today, with it being Monday, that I don't go to the gym, it is all about check-ins, setting the tone for the week, and I'm going to delve into my morning routine, which isn't the standard norm in terms of, well, I think it probably is the norm, but it's not what you see as the norm in terms of social media. And I'm going to go into kind of what I struggled with when I was starting to go to the gym, and why the check-in process here is beneficial in the sense of kind of just simplifying absolutely everything that you need to know, so that going forward into this week, if you've grabbed a free guide from me, which I'll bang in the description below, or you've grabbed anything online, how you can actually utilize, say, a training program or nutrition or whatever it is, and just make things super simple for you so that you can go forward and make some progress of your own. So there's a couple of things that I am actively trying to do to improve my mood and productivity, and one of them is, instead of scrolling through absolute shite on social media in first thing in the morning, is just reading something. You know, it could be anything you're interested in, but the reason I like this is because it's one page a day. It's 365 days, so you just read one a day, and it's as simple as that. So, you know, the lesson today is reboot the real work, and it's all about how when you were younger and you were in school, it would be deemed uncool to work hard. But now when you're obviously an adult, then there's a bit more on the line. You know, it's your career, it's your livelihood, and people want to do well. People want to have a bit more financial freedom, and it isn't uncool to work hard. It shouldn't be deemed uncool. And that's what I try and instill into people with building a good physique. It shouldn't be one of these things where it's uncool to work hard as a coach, or work hard doing entrepreneurship, or work hard as an engineer, work hard on site. These things should be drilled into you, and it's something that I've had drilled into me from a young age, that if there's something that you have, you know, control over, yes, you might not be the most skillful, but you can work hard. That's a big thing. So that's one of the things that definitely resonated with me today. Another thing is trying to get my steps in while it's light. More often than not, obviously working the hours that I do, and if people work from home, they'll be able to relate to this. You just end up being in a flow state, sat at your desk, and before you know it, 10, 12 hours have gone by and you've not really moved, other than occasionally going to the fridge and back for food. So I'm really trying to get myself out of that by just creating a block in the day, whether it be lunch or 5 o'clock, between them two time slots, to get out for steps. If you are in a position, you know, I've worked away commuting around the country before, engineering. If you're in that position, then one of the best things that you can grab is probably just a desk treadmill, where you can just bang on a film, you can slide it under the sofa. It's not going to take up loads of room, and that's so much better than if you're getting in after the gym and it's 9 p.m. You've got food, you've got everything prepped, but at the end of the day, the last thing you want to be doing is going out for a walk. Bang on a film, bang on a series, and while your missus is watching it, you can just crack on getting your steps in. The last one is completing the hardest or the most important tasks first. We all do it. We write to-do lists with just small, dead, really important tasks on it. Just make sure that you're boxing off, and this goes for the gym as well. If you're going in the gym and you struggle with cardio and you prefer weights, do the cardio first. Regardless of what you see on social media, just do the cardio first, because then it's out the way then. It might have an impact on your strength, and it probably will impact certain parts of your session, but get the most important things done first. Again, if you're starting off in the gym now and you're not very strong on compound movements, do the compound movements first. Don't be worrying about, just because certain people have said, like, do leg extensions before squats. Yes, there are certain reasons why you would do that, but in this case, just think about what works for you in particular. Things might change in 6 months, and your plan or whatever you're doing now might not be applicable in 6 months, but let's focus on getting results now. There are 7 variables that we use with coaching here at Unique. One of them is working out your calories, how to track them, and how to lay them out. To see the other 6, then make sure to tune into the other vlogs. And if you enjoy seeing the behind the scenes of how I work with my clients, don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe so you don't miss out on future content. Just wrapped up all the check-ins for today, and I want to kind of just go through a brief overview of what this vlog's going to entail throughout the week. So Monday and Tuesday are always two massive check-in days, but tomorrow I'm going to go through a couple of push exercises, the mistakes I've made with them and how you can fix some of them if you're making them yourself and how you can benefit from them. I'm also going to go through kind of why I'm getting an ultrasound scan on my kidneys, some things regarding my health. I'm also going to touch upon some client wins tomorrow because obviously it's another big check-in day. Then we've got legs on Wednesday. I'm going to go through some food side of things. I'm also going to go through some changes that are made to client programs and why we'd make them changes, not just for shits and giggles, but like, is it recovery? Is it injuries? What is it? Why is it that we change it in the week? And then share some nutrition. So my breakfast or certain meals on Thursday and kind of share some coaching challenges and stuff like that and tips for consistency. Friday's going to be kind of the wrap up of the working week. And then Saturday and Sunday, I'm going to involve a second lower session. Why the second lower session is different to the first one. Show snippets of a personal timeline, meal prep side of things, and also like what I do during the weekend. Again, with Sunday, I'm going to kind of wrap up things and I'm going to share my thoughts on kind of why Sunday's so important for me, particularly when I write everything out in this diary. I scribble everything down and I journal all the time. I think it's really important that we write things down and try and improve our communication skills. 3 things on the agenda for today, and yes, I'm wearing the same fleece, but it's only because I don't know if anyone else does it. I don't have a dressing gown, so I have a fleece or jumper that I wear for the week. All I do is just chuck it on and off depending on, and it doesn't leave the house. 3 things, client check-ins. Second one is content creation, strategizing the whole of November. We're at the back end of October now, so I like to have 30 days planned ahead of time, making sure it provides as much value for you lot watching. It can be anything. Value doesn't have to be getting into shape. Value can be comedic value. Believe it or not, despite having a very monotone, deep voice, I can actually be funny at times. It might be hard to believe, but I can be. The third one is an ultrasound scan, and it's on my kidneys. Where this might be relevant for you is I have reduced my protein, I have reduced my volume of training, and I'm struggling to filter out the muscle wastage in my body. I physically can't recover in time for higher volume of training. Now, if you're watching this and you are training your bollocks off and you're someone that trains really hard, and no matter how much you seem to track food, how much you seem to lift, your sleep's in a decent position, supplements are all good, and no matter how hard you seem to try with all these variables, you are not getting the result that you want. It might be an underlying problem. Now, I don't know. That's why I'm getting the ultrasound, and that's why I haven't competed this year. I've put health first with everything. So we'll delve into that. Obviously, I'll get a report in the next couple of weeks, but if I do find out certain answers today, then I'll share them with you. Only just wrapped up work and managed to get to the gym for 9:10 today, which isn't ideal because, as we know, based off yesterday, I am actively trying to work on my routine and get to the gym earlier, which probably 7 being the latest. But at the end of the day, people have been reaching out on socials, people have been grabbing guides, messaging me on WhatsApp, and also I've had a lot of people coming on board, which is great. It fills me, with immense pride, and I'm really grateful for it. But obviously it means working longer hours. So yeah, anyway, I'm going to go through the session and go through like a few movements that I believe that will be able to help you. One of the things I struggle with is ankle mobility, so I'm going to go through 1 or 2 movements of how I manipulate the leg session to bias me and help me continue to grow my legs. I've managed to finish planning out content for November, and the reason why that's kind of beneficial for you in the sense that I want to try and talk a lot about myself. I'm very much an open book. I'm not really concerned in terms of what I delve into. I want to be going into a lot of the positives. The reason I rebranded into Unique, the logo, what it stands for, why it's important to me, the autistic tendencies I have are a superpower. Things along the lines of growing up, my mum helping me with cooking, how that's benefited me with bodybuilding and my nutrition day to day, how kind of my life changed last year as well, and certain things that were important to me I just don't really care about anymore, and what you can take from it yourself with your own personal fitness journey. So keep an eye out for that going into November. Make sure to head over to my Insta and give it a follow while you're here. Today's been a busy day with consult calls and checking follow-ups, making sure everyone's happy with the changes I've made for them this week, and they're locked in and they're going to hit the ground running for the week ahead. I've just noticed I haven't really documented anything. I've had physio today on my quads. I've done a push session, which was decent, but all in all, even though I've had a really good day on paper, I just feel a bit crap. So I've headed to the gym for a sauna, and I was like, right, I'm going to box off my cardio. And I've realised that the sauna actually closes in 20 minutes, which means that I either have to do sauna or cardio. And today I'm going to opt for completing the rest of my steps. Well, doing the sauna and then completing the rest of my steps, because it'll just make me feel better. The thing is, I'm going to have to then do 4 cardio days on the spin, and I'm trying to split it up a little bit. So I'm going to have to do it Thursday all the way through to Sunday, because I have 4 days of cardio, 5 weight sessions at the minute, and one of them is nothing on a Monday because it's just too busy, and Tuesday's legs on its own because I'm trying to bring my legs up, obviously being a weak point of mine. I don't want to be burying them with cardio, so I'm just going to assess things and see where we go from there. But that is it. And I kind of wanted to discuss about one of the biggest things people do is focus on being perfect for one day rather than being good and consistent day on day on. And it's a massive thing that I see, like people wanting to be spot on for one day, but realistically that's not going to make progress at all. And one thing I've been quite good at consistently and good at drilling into people is I'd rather see 7 or 8 out of 10 every single day than see 3 out of 10 for 6 days and then one day you're like, oh, I felt good today. It's like, no. Emotions don't, it doesn't really matter. The maths is the maths and the data is the facts that we've got there. It's one of the most potent drugs that we consider when we're talking about performance enhancing drugs. One of the things that irritates me, similar to yourself, is when we're talking about, like, you'll put up like I did a thing, how to transform your body within a 6-month period. And I thought about all the things that I've done naturally, and I think about all the things that I've done enhanced, and I comprised and put them all together and put them into a 30-second reel, high-end, really high-value content. People can look at it, create a tick list, and be like, right, I'm going to do this for the next 6 months. Now, they don't have guidance, they don't have coaching, they don't have someone to help them with roadblocks, but I am telling them now that post, along with loads of the free guides, which I'll bang in the comments below if people want them, then they will help you. Like, there is no two ways about it. It's not like I've just chucked it together for shits and gigs. I've put it together and thought about the specific things that people struggle with. And one of the things that pisses me off is when people comment on like a transformation photo or reel of myself and be like, you're not going to mention Tren. I'm like, I haven't even took Tren.
It's just a trend.
Yeah,
Tren is just a trend.
I don't and do you know what? The reason I haven't is because I don't think I have the mental capacity to put a compound of that strength inside me. I think about mental vulnerability, and we'll delve into this with performance enhancing drugs as well. I think my head would fall off.
It's funny you say that, because obviously I've utilised it.
Yeah.
And for me, it was the physical effects that got me more than mental. Being honest, I enjoyed the mental effects that I got from Tren.
Yeah.
Because for me, yes, there was the gyno issue. It kind of kick-started that, back acne, stuff like that. That was all the physical sides, so we took it out. But the mental side, for me, it's completely bombed my emotions, suppressed it to nothing.
Talking of mental side of performance enhancing drugs that people don't talk about often, is the only thing I could describe is it's like Venom in Spider-Man. You're adding in Deca, you're adding in a decent amount of test, you've got Primo or some form of Master on in there, and when you are peak blast, people aren't self-aware, they're not mentally mature, and they've got these chemicals inside them, and the way in which they interact and speak to people is just absolutely disgusting. It doesn't give you, I always say this, bodybuilding's a choice, whether you want to diet, whether you want to push your weight. It doesn't give you a God-given right to just be a fucking cunt because you've got that in your system. It's just mental. Seen it at shows, like just small things, opening the doors for people, saying hi to people, and they're just like looking at the floor. Like,
I think diet plays a part in that as well.
Yeah, but what I mean is, it's a choice. Like, you're not in Iraq.
Nah.
You're doing a 15-16 week diet.
Yeah.
I smash my mornings every single day by looking at myself in the mirror and saying, Gabe, you're amazing. You're amazing. You're amazing.
Hi mate, what you doing?
Just doing a podcast reel for Instagram.
Who you speaking to?
Listen, I need that. I need that.